You lying, scamming dog, you would put all that baby all on your forehead, all on CNN, a disgrace. And they not just resign, all y'all ought to be arrested, put in handcuffs, hands behind your backs. Up here lying, scam, scumming dog, you. Then put all that baby oil. He got all that baby oil all on his forehead, on his edge up line. Then wiped himself down and did he all on CNN. Unbelievable. I'm pissed off, y'all.
From the book, President Biden didn't even recognize George Clooney at a fundraiser the movie star was actually hosting for him. Why should voters trust Democrats when it's clear so many in your party went to great lengths to keep Biden's condition hidden from the public?
I can't tell you what happened between George Clooney and President Biden. I wasn't at that event. What I can say is that we're not looking backward. We're going to continue to look forward, because at this moment, we've got real problems that need to be addressed on behalf of the American people, including the Republican effort to snatch away health care, snatch away food assistance, and hurt veterans.
You interacted with President Biden during those days, those final days he was president of the United States. Did you sense there was a major deterioration?
Well, in the conversations that I was able to have on behalf of the House Democratic Caucus in those final days, we simply expressed our perspective as to what would be best for the party at that given moment in time. President Biden subsequently made the decision that he was going to pass the baton to Vice President Kamala Harris. Of course, that was a decision that we supported strongly.
They lied. They knew he wasn't capable of running again, which also, by the way, means he wasn't capable of holding the office at the time. And now they're trying to get everybody to move on. There are legitimate questions about what these Democrats knew, when they knew it, and did they put the country through the biggest cover-up and scandal in modern American political history. It's pretty obvious from this book that's coming out and other accounts that maybe they did.
I'm kind of surprised to hear you're mad about it.
I'm not. Yeah, I am mad because I vote in this country. And here's what I'd like to know. Was the elected president of the United States so impaired that he wasn't making the decisions on behalf of the government? That's the question of the day.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Calm down, sir. Rick, what's going on? How y'all doing, family? They say, Rick, sir, it's Friday, sir. Are you all right? They say, Rick, sir, it's Friday. Calm down, sir. We made it to the weekend, sir. Shout out to them Patriots, man. We've been working hard, just trying to make it, just trying to survive, man. You know, I hope y'all had a blessed, beautiful week, that everything's going well for you with your careers, your life, your family, your friends, the neighbors, the strangers around the world, man, in this fast time travel. A lot is going on in the world of politics. You know, I'm ready to see more arrests. I'm ready to see more people held accountable, you know. And I'm just wishing a better way of life for everybody, man. Simple. Don't give it what your skin color is, what you look like, where you're from, what side you stand on. We all live in this corrupt scam matrix, man, and this fast time travel. And it's a real corrupt scam matrix. That's what it is, whether you like to hear it or not. But right now, we're seeing the internet going crazy. Democrats, you know, all live on TV lying, you know, can't get it right. This fella get up on here, he done put Diddy all and baby all on his forehead, up there lying. Let's just move forward. No, the people want to know. The people want accountability. The people want people arrested. We still want to know who the hell ran the country for the last 4 years. Y'all done gave Trump this complete mess. And then he trying to fix the mess, and everything he do for fixing the mess y'all left him, he the big bad orange man. He's the dictator. He's the threat to democracy. We're Nazis and a bunch of garbage. I'm pissed off. They say, Rick, sir, calm down. Watch your sodium, sir. Watch your sugar. Watch your blood pressure. Watch your cholesterol, sir. All right, family. All right. Right. They say, Rick, calm down. We made it to the weekend, to Friday. It's Friday, y'all. Happy Friday, everybody. But we were reading this title on Fox News, and it's kind of going viral right now. But it's saying Democrat leaders called to resign over Biden cover-up. And I'm reading the comment section. They're saying, what? Cover-up? They need to be arrested. And we showed you yesterday and seeing Hakeem Jeffrey and Chuck Schumer's and people getting up live on television. The Nancy Pelosi's. Oh, he's just fine. We had meetings. We walked in there and we had a sit and talk with Biden, and he was just perfect. He was as sharp as a tack. He was sitting there eating his ice cream cone, and he didn't just lick his ice cream cone 5 or 10 times. He licked his ice cream cone 30 times to be exact. That sounds like a sharp man to me. A man that can lick his ice cream cone 30 times? Unbelievable, y'all. You know, auto pen. He didn't know what the hell was getting signed. Unbelievable. But the people have the right to know. So no, we're not going to let it go. You know, but we send our prayers to Trump and this current administration, man, who was left with a complete mess. And we wish him for a better way of life for everybody, man. Trump warned everybody, talked about the same things thousands and thousands of times, you know, and they simply hate the man because he's doing exactly what he campaigned on. I just don't get it. People think they outrank the president. Judges think they outrank the president. These activists, the fake news media won't tell nobody the truth. They won't put the full thing out there. The bias, the fear-mongering, the same rhetoric, the lies, the misinformation. People are sick of all this crap, man. One of the biggest cover-ups there was. The people have the right to know, man. And we want people held accountable. Let's jump into this, man.
Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries now still trying to push forward as Democrats continue to be confronted about former President Biden.
How we even call him they call him a leader. Leader. When they say he's a leader, I almost throw the damn up when they say he's a leader.
Biden's mental decline with a steady drip of new revelations on his condition coming to light. I want to bring in former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy on this. And Kevin, good day to you. You noted it. I remember hearing it from you back in the day. Chris,
where the hell all the voters go? Huh? Where are them voters at? Y'all had voting in 2020. Shit. The man won 3 elections. I'm just saying. They say, Rick, sir, if everything was done right, we wouldn't have to been going through this. The man won 3 elections. They say, Rick, sir, please calm down, sir. You didn't have to say that, sir. You didn't have to say that, Rick. Why did you say that? The Patriots woke up and say, what the hell happened? What happened? Where did all them voters come from? Yeah, they were mailing them in, huh? It was mailed in. It was mailed in. And somebody tell Barry, somebody tell Barack, somebody tell Big Mike that we seen and read the real birth certificate. We seen your real birth certificate? All these frauds and fakes out here. Y'all done ran America into the ground. Shit.
Democratic Senator says no doubt. He says there's no doubt about it. The debate is whether it was enough that it compromised his ability to act as chief executive. Now, there's a bunch of books out there right now. Maybe there's more coming. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one, but perhaps that happens. At which point do Democrats finally shake this? Because it's just a cloud that's moving over them every day.
They're trying to ignore it. They're trying to say, oh, we're just looking forward. But I think the leaders that that covered this up should have to resign. So that means Schumer and Hakeem should actually resign because they saw the same thing I did. And when I came forward with what was going on, they all attacked me. They tried to even do the cover-up. Instead of just not saying anything, they attacked those who tried to tell the truth. And they allowed the country to be in this position. That's not a place for a leader to be. When you can see what was going on in the White House, and Dana, you know this better than anything, that White House is a place that is humming. Under Biden, nothing. It is so quiet. And then when you had meetings with him, you had a different meeting every time. But there's times his mind was not there. That he led me into the swimming pool one time. Another time he was dazed that he saw his wife Jill. And why did Jill have to be in so many meetings?
Unlike others, you were honest about what was happening. You told people what you saw. No, so yesterday, we don't have this sound, but Jake Sullivan, who is the National Security Advisor, he's being interviewed yesterday, asked if he ever noticed anything. And it's reported in the book that a couple of times the president looked at him and called Jake Sullivan Steve. And he said, nope, never saw anything. I mean, but you imagine that the Democrats were calling for the 25th Amendment against President Trump in his first term. And none of these people thought this was a concern, that the President of the United States and his National Security Advisor didn't have clear lines of communication?
No. But the worst part is, privately together, they acknowledged his problems. They made jokes about it. They said he was our zombie. This is the highest leaders in the cabinet would say this about this president, because they would talk about him not recognizing him, calling him by a different name, and then go out and attack those who ever brought it forward. That, to me, is the biggest crime of all, to allow this to go forward, to put America in this jeopardy. And then you wonder why we had such terrible foreign policy, why were new wars created, why did we look weaker on the world stage? Why did we lose? Well, they're at fault because they covered up. And this is a country that if somebody falls behind, somebody else is elected to step into that position. They should not have been silent. And if they were leaders and they were silent, they should step away from their jobs.
New York Times did a focus group of Democrats. These are voters now, okay? Here's 4 quotes. Ariel's age 23, Indiana. What do you think of the Democratic Party? Disappointing a little bit. Harold out of Florida, age 54. Ariel took the words out of my mouth, he said. Disappointing. Spencer, age 30, out of Illinois, white, therapist. Useless. I'm sorry, is his quote. Terrell, age 39, Texas, black, nonprofit. Inept is his quote.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Yeah, that's beautiful. We got people now, and I'm good. These are the kind of polls I like. I like seeing names, ages, and where you're from. Yeah, they need to do more of these. Name, age, where you're from. How do you feel about the Democratic Party? Disappointing a little bit. And then Ariel, Harold disagreed with Ariel. You took the words right out of my mouth, which is very disappointing. Useless. They're useless. I'm sorry. Man, you just... God! Now, these are the kind of polls I like. They need to do more of these. Some of them other polls y'all be posting, I believe they're not real. And then sometimes they be bots. It's just somewhat AI calculated. Especially the ones on CNN, ABC, CBS, all of them. Even when most of the time, some of the time they have Trump great in the polls, or people approve of Trump, and his approval rating is once again getting better. Because then you got to look at it and like triple times that, because they don't want to make Trump look better than what he already is. They don't want him to be. You know, they still want you to believe he's the big bad orange man. He's the dictator. He's a threat to democracy. So the polls won't ever tell you the real truth on them polls.
How do you turn that around?
You have to turn it around. It has to change. I mean, it's not just the voters. Look at the Democratic leader in the Senate in Florida. He literally resigned from the party because he says the party has left him. If the party has gone so far one way, because remember what the party has done. They changed their election rules about which state starts first. They pre-pick who can be their nominee. They deny other people from even running, like RFK. So in those situations, what they need to do is start with new leadership. That's the only way they're going to build trust. And they need to start with ideas. Get off this idea that your whole campaign is to just oppose President Trump. Go out and talk about policies. And for the first time, I saw a few Democrats literally crediting President Trump with his foreign policy trip he just went on. Finally, they're only waking that up because their own voters are telling them, you're
Kevin,
being dumb and we're voting for somebody else.
Sorry to jump in, but I do want to get you on record with this topic. Let's just play from Speaker Johnson. He's trying to get a big, beautiful bill done. You know how this goes. Let's play his sound here.
Meeting you were having with folks inside there,
Go forward progress. We're going to look at some numbers tonight and keep this thing moving forward.
So there's no guarantee that you're having a budget committee meeting tomorrow?
We're having a budget committee meeting tomorrow. That's the plan.
What if it doesn't get out of budget tomorrow?
It'll get out of budget.
You're confident?
I'm confident.
Any words of advice, or either for him or for us, on how we cover this? Because I've decided not to look at it for a couple days, but it seems like President Trump is now being called upon to weigh in and bring these people together.
Well, nothing ever passes unless President Trump's behind it. But first and foremost, this bill is going to pass. Because think about it. It's not like it's a brand new bill. All this is doing is codifying the tax code that we have. So if you vote against this bill, you're raising taxes. If we're concerned that Chip Roy is complaining about a bill, wait till Monday, he'll complain about the next bill. This bill is going to pass the budget. This bill is going to pass the floor next week. There's no other place. Now, if the Speaker asks for my advice, structure dictates behavior. What you should have done is work these problems out in the room with the people you're talking to now a month ago. And that way, once it passed the floor, once it passed the committee, it'll pass the floor. It's just, you need to work these problems out. But this bill has to pass. No Republican can sustain themselves by voting against it. All you're doing is raising taxes, and it's the president's promise, no tax on tips and others. Jason Smith has done a tremendous job in Ways and Means. They passed the bill. If it's Ralph Norman and Chip Roy complaining, they'll complain about the next bill, but they'll fall in line. And if you see the SALT, you'll get to that, but you should have negotiated that already.
All right, we'll see.
You know, lying scumdog. Look at this, man. A disgrace.
From the book, President Biden didn't even recognize George Clooney at a fundraiser the movie star was actually hosting for him. Why should voters trust Democrats when it's clear so many in your party went to great lengths to keep Biden's condition?
Somebody hosts you at an event and you don't even recognize them. That was the 46th president. Unbelievable. I'm at a loss for words. Somebody's hosting me in an event, hosting me a fundraiser, and I don't even know the person. I can't even recognize the person. And that's supposed to be the president. And then they wanted him to run again. People need to be walked out in handcuffs.
Condition hidden from the public.
I can't tell you what happened between George Clooney and President Biden. I wasn't at that event.
He make me sick up here lying, you scum. You knew what was going on. Y'all all knew what was going on. Got all this Diddy oil and baby oil all on his forehead.
What I can say is that we're not looking backward. We're going to continue to look forward. Because at this moment, we've got real problems that need to be addressed on behalf of the American people, including the Republican effort to snatch away health care, snatch away food assistance, and hurt veterans.
And then lies and then the fear mongering and just man, they ought to walk on set and just put this man in handcuffs.
You interacted with President Biden during those days, those final days he was president of the United States. Did you sense there was a major deterioration?
Well, in the conversations that I was able to have on behalf of the House Democratic Caucus in those final days. We simply expressed our perspective as to what would be best for the party at that given moment in time. President Biden subsequently made the decision that he was going to pass the baton to Vice President Kamala Harris. Of course, that was a decision that we supported strongly.
Just very quickly, I want to ask you, Congressman Jeffries, you say we're not looking back, we're looking forward, but what happened in the past has to do with what's going to happen in the future and whether voters can trust Democrats. As you look back, you were in a leadership position when President Biden decided to run again. Should you have done more at that point to intervene?
It's a great question in terms of whether voters can trust Democrats or not. Every single high-profile special election that has taken place since President Trump was inaugurated, a special election victory in Iowa in January, a special election victory in New York in February, a special election victory in Pennsylvania in March, a special election victory in Wisconsin in the Supreme Court race in April, and yesterday, decisively defeating a Republican incumbent in Omaha in a surprise to many observers. Clearly, voters are trusting Democrats.
Yeah, he's lying. He's lying. I can't take any more of these lying, scamming dogs. I can't, man. Lying, scamming dogs. I can't take no more, man. I just can't do it. You just can't do it.
Of running again, they lied. They knew he wasn't capable of running again. Which also, by the way, means he wasn't capable of holding the office at the time. And now they're trying to get everybody to move on. There are legitimate questions about what these Democrats knew, when they knew it, and did they put the country through the biggest cover-up and scandal in modern American political history. It's pretty obvious from this book that's coming out and other accounts that maybe they did.
I'm kind of surprised to hear you're mad about it.
I'm not. Yeah, I am mad because I vote in this country. And here's what I'd like to know. Was the elected president of the United States so impaired that he wasn't making the decisions on behalf of the government? That's the question of the day.